I recently published my first macOS app outside the Mac App Store. It is a little utility app that helps you to clean Xcode files. I did publish this app on Gumroad. I will share the link in the description so you can see how this looks like and feels. The app is for free. You can leave a tip if you want to. The whole process of configuring the Xcode project, notarizing the app, creating the DMG file, and uploading it to Gumroad took less than an hour. Today I'm going to show you how fast this can be. To demonstrate this, I'm going to use the project from a previous tutorial where I built this small disk analyzer. You can find the link to this project in the description box if you want to follow along. One thing I have to change, I have to add in the asset catalog app icons of different size for macOS. This is because, especially on the sidebar, I added some shadow and this white background. Now to the actual publishing. When you build and run your project, you can look at the product show build folder in a Finder. This is going to the folder under debug. You see here my disk app file. I can run this application now on this computer that I built this. I can drag this into the application folder and use this locally. But if I would share only this file with other people, they would see a lot of warnings pop up of Apple saying this is not secure, this is software download for the internet, they won't even allow me to open this. This would be a very bad experience. Apple forces you as the developer to go through a notarization process. You need to upload your app to their servers, then they check it for security, then they add some security features to it, so then when other people open this notarized version, they are much more likely to actually use your app. In order to do this notarization, you need to have a paid developer account, which is $99 per year. Once you have this, you can go under Xcode settings in the account section and add your Apple ID. On the left bottom, you see this plus button. If you want to add more accounts, you need to sign in with this email. You need to go on the Apple Developer Account website to create a paid membership. Once you're logged in to your paid account, we can go under the project's target sign-in capabilities, and you see here in the sign-in section, I use the automatically managed signing. I'm the only developer. If you work in a team, things get more complicated, but we are just here personal. And here for macOS signing certificate for development. Now, when you build and run your project the first time, it will ask you to give code sign-in permission to access your developer account in your keychain. And you have two options, always allow, and it's better to always press allow, otherwise this is going to come up again and again. Now, to other settings for your project in the General tab, have a look at the minimum deployment target. Per default, it always uses the newest one, so for me in Xcode 16.2, it is 15.2, which is not very good for most users. So you should go down to 14, to the one that you know is working. Maybe clean build folder, and then build and run again to make sure that you didn't use anything that is only available for the newer versions, which it didn't in my case. Here you need to specify the bundle identifier. This is the inverse, in this case, domain name for my account, and then the name of these, which are actually set in sign-in capabilities. So this is my bundle identifier, unique identifier for this application that also Apple understands this is the one you're talking about. If you upload different versions, this is here under general. If this is the first time, it's the 1.0 and the build is 1. You will see this information. If you go under your app about, here you see this is version 1.0 with build 1. If you change this, for example, with you have a minor bug fix, and I changed the build to 2 because this would be then the next build, you go under about. In my case, we're starting for the first time, so it's the version 1.0 and the build 1. Next, I want to upload my app. I go under Product, Archive. You get the Archives window with this one that I just created for my version 1.0. And this left column on the top, you see this is automatically selecting my current app. You can also go for any one that you had before. Now that I have this one archive, I press here Distribute App. This is opening another dialog where you can check, do you want to publish your app in the App Store? Then you would use the App Store Connect. In my case, I want direct distribution. You see, you can also use test flight or internal only, but I want to publish this on Gumroad. This will start the notarization process, so it's uploading this project to Apple, where they check for security risks and what your app is doing. This can take a couple of minutes. My app status changed to ready to distribution, and you see here this green check mark. When you hover over this status area, you see an export button and a show. Where you see here it's preparing, it uploaded, ready to distribution. And you have here a notarized app. Now I can press here export, folder of your choice. I can now close this. And in this folder I have now this app file that is notarized. And you could share this directly, but it's nicer to have a DMG file, which is an installer type. The easiest way of creating a DMG file is with the terminal. There is a utility tool from Synthesaurus. He's very successful in the app developer for macOS. This helps you to, in the terminal, create a DMG file directly. So you can install this utility app with the npm install global crate. So you copy this, you open the terminal app, paste this and install. I already have this installed, so it's just going to overwrite this. Once you install this, you can then go to the folder where your app file is. So I use cd, and then I just go to this folder. And now I can use this command line tool. This is create DMG, and then your app name. So the name and the folder. This also creates a temporary image for the installer. It also does the code sign-in with your developer ID. And you see here success, you created the disk analyzer DMG file, which is indeed here. Now when I open this, this gives me this helper to install this app and tells me, yeah, drag this app into your application folder, so you can drag it over and then it will install it. These DMG files now the file that you can share with other people on any platform that you want. You can do it on your own website. And what I'm going to do now is using Gumroad, because it's just easier, especially if you're starting out first time and you want to try this. I think it's a good way of doing it. Let's head over to Gumroad and press start selling or log in if you already have an account. Then we can go to dashboard under product and here add new product. You see I already have this one app. Now this is going through the setup wizard. So we're starting with the name, disk cleaner for iOS devs, selecting the kind of project. In my case, this is a digital product, a downloadable file. Then scrolling down, you can here select a price. You can set a fixed price, a subscription. In my case, I actually want to have, in the case you saw, I used a pay-as-you-go. So people don't need to pay something. They can just download it for free, or they give a small tip. This is actually very good because you still get a lot of new users to just test if they're interested, but you also see how many would actually pay for it. So you can set something like $2, then go to the customizer, giving you all the input fields for how the landing page looks when people pay. You see on the right the preview. You can upload here cover images with a certain dimension. For example, you can do this with Canva, or I use a lot of Sketch because I have the software, so why not keep it? This is then this cover image. You can, in the description box, then write the text. This is below here on the left. Now, full disclosure, I do use Claude to write a lot of these because sometimes it gives you quite good ideas what to write, as long as you describe who this is for. You can add a custom domain. You can add different thumbnails. This is an image that used for the Gumroad library. You can add a summary. This is showing on the right side, like down here in this box. And more information, I think they're coming up on the right side. Scrolling down further, the interesting thing is the pricing section. I did put here this $2, and if you toggle these pay as you want, you can set a minimum or a suggested amount, and so The minimum is 0 and the suggested is 2 in this case. This is then here, if you look under the final page, the name a fair price. Here you can put 0 and still press this button, or you can put $2, which was the suggestion I have here. So if you want to have a fixed price, you can just put in here this price, and then it shows as this exact price. But as I said, I actually really like it. If you have your first app, you just want to test the waters, you quickly want to publish this and get some feedback how it works, I think making this free and just a little bit of a tip is quite nice. This kind of pricing system is quite powerful. Unfortunately, if you use the App Store, this is not possible. So definitely an advantage of self-distribution. You can add different versions and some more settings down here. Might show the number of sales on your product page. Then you can press save and continue. This goes to the next tab of the content. This is actually what people are buying. You can drop in here all the files that you want. I open Finder where I have this DMG file and I drop it in here. This is then what people can download. Then save changes. I can then press here publish and continue. This will then publish this app. This was just a demo. I'm not going to do this here because I already have this one product. So I'm going to go to the other product that I have. You see here, this is the unpublished one, this is the published one. If you have a look at this landing page, it's actually quite a nice layout where you have the description on the left and then here the pricing and the I want this button on the right, where you then go to the payment page. Once you changed your status of your product to published, you can share with others. So for example, I can use here this copy link, which goes then to the landing page. For example, you can share it on X with some friends, on Facebook, on Reddit and the subreddit for macOS apps, which is quite a good place to do this, which should help you to get some first users and some feedback on your apps. If you use this process, please comment down below and share links to your new apps. I would love to have a look. One thing I did not include in this process is that currently, if you have a new version of your app, the users don't directly see them. They would need to download a new version from like Gumroad. A better way is to use something like Sparkle, where in your app can have a pop-up or a button where they can directly get the new versions. I will add some links in the description box where you can see how to do this. The reason I didn't want to do this now is, first of all, it's quite a bit more setup, and if you just want to test the waters and publish something quickly, this process is much better. Sometimes it's really difficult to actually publish things. I hope this motivates you to share more with others. If you want to follow people who are quite good at fast development, you can follow Jordi Boon, who is very successful with this strategy, also with Gumroad, and for example, he likes to also do this kind of pay-as-you-go pricing strategies. The overall process wasn't so difficult. It's a little bit annoying that you still need to have a paid developer account, but it's not such a long review process like, for example, if you publish this with the Mac App Store. There's a little bit more to why you might want to do self-publishing versus App Store publishing. I will break this down in another video, which you can watch up here. Thank you for watching. Until next time, happy coding.